So making good stuff, making good content is hard. Like
Yes.
it's really hard, especially as everyone's caught onto the jig that like, oh, organic search is awesome, right?
Yes.
It's like you get these forever returns. So the level has increased. It's like this arms race to make something better.
For sure.
So how are you doing this with like so many different clients? You've got like 85 people working with you. Like, how are you doing this at scale? There's only a handful of amazing places. Like I know like NerdWallet, HubSpot that do content at scale really well, where the content's actually like pretty good. Like you actually read it and you're like, yeah, that's a pretty good post.
Yeah.
Like how long does it take you to write like one piece of content like that?
So, I mean, we start off at a minimum of 18 hours dedicated per post.
Wow.
We rarely will even use that interval of time. We'll actually do 36 hours on average is the low end, where we call it's like keyword driven posts where distribution is built in via search volume, but we're not doing any outreach based on the market. So 36 hours, and that's blended time between designers, writers, copy editor, manager who's like looking over it. So long story, yeah, at least a week generally. And that's when you have multiple skill sets involved to get to depth.
So I mean, you're talking about there's like SEO people, planning people, writing people, images people, video people, technical people, uploading it to an actual website, animation people, people doing the promotion. Like how many people are involved in like a single piece of content?
It can be as high as 10 people, probably not on a 36-hour post, to be fair. In that one, it's more like 2 people or 4 on average, but you'll have soft touches from other people. If you have something that's interactive, the copy editing side definitely can get upwards of 10. In terms of the mini touch points of the manager, the strategy people, we ideate with as a group. So we're getting to the best idea as a group of like 5 and 6. And yeah, it compounds. And that is one of the things we're selling is like you're getting 10 people per piece of content, not just one writer you can get off Upwork.
This is what I want people to know, that like sometimes when people are like, oh, but HubSpot just puts out a blog post. I'm like, no, there's like a lot of people, like well-paid people, trained people, good people around the world working on this one, what you consider like tiny little blog post.
Yeah, I mean, I think in a component we're increasingly thinking about, and I don't think many people spend as much time and effort on this, is the UX design of their blog. I know HubSpot has a very elegant, fast-loading, great user experience on their content framework that allows them to accomplish scale because they might not need as much design on a per-post basis because that framework looks so good. And that might cost them $50,000 to execute and design well and be on brand. But once that cost is done, now they have 3,000 posts that they can put in that framework and rank for everything, if that makes sense. As compared to like Joe Schmo blogger who just does a WordPress install, maybe throws his logo on there, but it still loads slowly. The sidebar doesn't look great. It doesn't look custom, etc.
Yeah, that UX component of it is really, really important. I learned CSS to kind of like update my blog, and I know it to like a degree.
Right.
And it really helps just with the readability. I actually just recently put out a request to get even more help with it. But the good blogs out there, I mean, they've got like top end designers. Thinking about the typography, the spacing, everything. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and if you think about, I use the same word, I feel like phrase a lot, is like the sunk cost differentiator. Is like we're here in a set that's like very nice, and that not many people are going to be willing to invest in that in terms of a set and things like that. But same with the UX design. Some people are willing to spend $30,000 on their UX design. Some people are only willing to spend $3,000, but that time to ROI will come a lot faster. And sometimes it won't come at all if you're only spending $3,000.